Welcome to Crime Center. Tonight, we are diving into three places people shouldn't go and those who went there anyways. Story 1: The Stairwell That Wasn't There. Boston, Massachusetts, October 17, 2014. It was just after 2:30 in the morning when 26-year-old nursing assistant Lila Harper turned the corner into the east wing of St. Matthew's Medical Center in Boston. Night shifts had a rhythm to them: quiet footsteps, soft beeping machines, the occasional distant cough echoing down the sterile hallways. Lila had worked here for 3 years. She knew every corridor, every shortcut, every squeaky tile. So when she saw the door at the end of the hall, she stopped. Because it wasn't supposed to be there. No window, no label, no glowing red exit above it. Just a dull gray metal door, slightly cracked open. At first she thought maybe maintenance had added something, but that didn't make sense. Hospital renovations took months, paperwork, signage. This looked temporary, like it had always been there. But somehow, she'd never noticed it. And that's what bothered her. After a few seconds, curiosity got the better of her. She pushed it open. The hinges didn't creak. Inside was a narrow concrete stairwell, lit by a single flickering fluorescent light. The air felt colder, heavier. She stepped in. The door clicked shut behind her. Lila quickly turned and tried the handle. It opened just fine. That gave her enough confidence to keep going. She started down. 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor. Everything felt normal until she reached the landing below the 1st floor. Painted on the wall in faded black letters, -1. She frowned. There was no basement level in this part of the hospital. At least, not one accessible by staff. She should have turned back, but instead she took another step down. At the bottom, the door was already open, and what she saw on the other side didn't look like a hospital at all. The hallway was dim. The walls were yellow and cracked, and lining both sides were old metal hospital beds, rusted, crooked, some missing wheels entirely. It looked like something abandoned decades ago, like a place forgotten on purpose. Lila stepped inside. Her shoes echoed softly. Then, clink! She froze. One of the beds, about 20 feet ahead, had moved. Not much, just enough to make a sound, like someone had bumped it or touched it. She felt her chest tighten. "Hello?" she called out. No answer, just silence. Then, slowly, one of the IV stands beside the bed began to sway, back and forth, as if something had just let go of it. That was enough. Lila turned and ran. Up the stairs, past -1, past 1, past 2, her footsteps slamming against the concrete, echoing too loudly, too fast, until she burst back onto the 4th floor. She spun around. The door was gone. In its place, a solid wall. Later that morning, she reported everything. Security reviewed camera footage. At 2:34 a.m., Lila is seen walking down the hall, then stopping, then turning around suddenly and running back the way she came. There is no door, no stairwell, nothing behind her. Hospital records show no construction, no hidden basement, no sealed wing in that area. And Lila? She quit 2 weeks later. She refused to ever work another night shift again. Story number 2: The island you're not allowed to visit. Ilha de Quimita Grande, Brazil, March 3rd, 2011. Fisherman Diego Alvarez, 34 years old, had spent most of his life on the waters off the coast of Brazil. He'd heard the stories, everyone had, about the island locals refused to go near, Snake Island. They said there were thousands of snakes, venomous ones, so deadly that one bite could shut down your entire body in under an hour. Diego didn't believe in exaggerations. To him, it sounded like folklore, something fishermen told just to scare outsiders. And besides, there were rumors of rare birds, black market collectors willing to pay serious money, even whispers of valuables from old shipwrecks scattered along the rocks. So on the night of March 2nd, Diego set out alone. By sunrise, a small boat was anchored just off the island's jagged shoreline. The water was calm, the island completely silent. No birds calling, no insects buzzing, just wind rushing through thick green trees. At 7:12 a.m., Diego stepped onto the island. At first, everything seemed normal. He moved slowly through the brush, scanning the trees, and then he saw it. A snake. Golden. Coiled around a branch at eye level, it didn't move. It just watched him. Diego took a step back, and that's when he noticed another one. Then another. Within seconds, the illusion shattered. The trees weren't empty, they were covered. Snakes draped across branches like vines, curled along rocks, hidden in leaves, some just inches from his face, and they weren't retreating. They were tracking him. Every movement, every step. Diego's breathing quickened. He turned toward the shoreline and then he felt a pain. Sharp, immediate. His legs buckled. He looked down just in time to see a golden lancehead snake sliding away into the underbrush. He ran, adrenaline pushing him forward, branches scraping his arms, heart pounding so hard it drummed everything else out. He reached the boat, climbed in, untied the rope with shaking hands, but venom like that doesn't wait. By the time authorities found his boat drifting hours later, the engine still idling, Diego Alvarez was gone. Today, Brazilian authorities strictly prohibit civilians from visiting the island. Only licensed researchers are allowed, and even they go with heavy protection. Because on that island, humans are outnumbered and unwelcome. Story number 3. The tunnel beneath the city. Las Vegas, Nevada, August 22nd, 2018. At 11:47 p.m., 4 friends stood at the edge of a storm drain opening on the outskirts of Las Vegas. Jake Miller, 22, Ethan Cruz, 23, Marcus Lee, 22, and Tyler Grant, 21. They had spent the night filming content, urban exploring, pushing boundaries, chasing that adrenaline rush. At tonight's location, the flood tunnels beneath the city. Massive concrete channels designed to carry water during flash floods. But when they're dry, they stretch on for miles. Pitch black, echoing, unknown. They climb down, flashlights cutting through the darkness. At first, it was exactly what they expected. Graffiti-covered walls, discarded trash, the distant drip of water echoing endlessly. They joked, they laughed, filmed everything. But about 20 minutes in, things changed. The tunnel widened. The echo sounded off, like the space around them had grown larger than it should have. And then they found it. A section of tunnel that didn't match the rest. The concrete was older. It was cracked differently, darker, like it belonged to a whole different structure entirely. And at the center was a side passage. There were no markings, no graffiti, just darkness. "Yo, let's check that out," Jake said. The others hesitated. Something about it just felt wrong. Too quiet, too untouched. But Jake was already stepping inside, his flashlight beam swallowed by the blackness. "Give me a second," he called. They waited. 10 seconds. 20. 30. "Jake," Ethan called, but there was no response. Then, footsteps. From inside the tunnel, slow, dragging, uneven. But there was something wrong. It didn't sound like one person, it sounded heavier, like something struggling to move. "Jake, stop messing around," Marcus said. The footsteps got closer, but still no voice, no light. Just that dragging sound getting louder, closer, until Tyler whispered, "We need to go, now." They ran. They didn't look back, they didn't stop, until they burst out into the warm desert air, hearts pounding, lungs burning. Jake never came out. Police searched the tunnels the next day. They found the side passes, but it didn't go far. Just a few yards in, it collapsed, completely sealed. No space for a person to pass through. No sign Jake had ever entered. No footprints, no dropped flashlight, nothing. And no explanation for what was walking towards them in the dark. Sometimes, the scariest places aren't the ones on a map. They're the ones you're not supposed to find. And the ones that don't let you leave the same. If you made it this far, you're already deeper than most. Subscribe to Crime Center, and I'll see you in the next story. See ya.